in Miami this afternoon on this fine Sunday afternoon. The Marlins and the Indians get ready to play. Cleveland is 61-49. The Fish 43-66. Miami won game one. The Indians a one-run win last night. Today at Marlins Park, the 10th anniversary of the 2003 World Championship team. Out of the Fan Express of the world champs. Carl Pavano, Pudge Rodriguez, their skipper, Jack McKeon, all-time Lenny Harris, Mike Redmond, Mike Lowell. Great memories. And everybody just soaking it in right now. Hi, everyone. Rich Waltz, along with Tommy Hutton. I wasn't here for 2003, but you were, Hut, so this has to be special.
Yeah, it is. And I think in listening to some of the guys talk, the fondness that they have of an event like this is seeing all the guys, because there's such camaraderie around a baseball team, let alone a world championship team.
And some of these guys look like they could still play. I mean, Carl Pavano looks like he's in better shape than he was when he pitched. Mike Lowell still looks great.
I think Pudge could give us a couple innings, too.
And Miguel Cabrera actually did a little video hello from Detroit, and he finished it by saying, "We'll see you later." And he's speaking the truth, because the Tigers are in here to end the season. The Indians, the Marlins' opponent, are hopeful that the Marlins can take a bite out of the Tigers, because 3 games behind are these Indians. It's a very different Cleveland team from last year, and one of the reasons why is the guy at the top of the order, Michael Bourn.
Well, they were trying to get a leadoff guy, certainly, to spark their offense, and they did when they signed Michael Bourn, who was a late sign, and he got things going last night. A base hit, a stolen base. He scored a couple of runs early on, and you think about it, Michael Bourn was a real difference maker in the game last night. 292 career stolen bases for Michael Bourn. He can fly on the bases. He has that hard, straight-on slide. And you know what? You can't double him up either. He doesn't hit into double plays. But he was a big factor last night, certainly in the game. So today, watch for the Marlins to try to shut down Michael Bourn. Number one, keep him off the bases. If he gets on base, keep him from stealing.
Indians stole 6 bases last night. That ties an opponent record for the Marlins. So Jeff Mathis is behind the plate. But Nathan Eovaldi has to do his part, and he has shown with quick feet and a quick move he can hold runners.
Yeah, I think he holds runners as good as any of the Marlins starters, and he'll have to do that today. Nate Eovaldi looking for some support. Last 3 starts, he's gotten no runs of support, but he's been pretty solid. Scott Kazmir's an interesting story. Here's a guy who's only 29. He's been an all-star a couple of times. He actually pitched in independent baseball last year.
Yeah, and he's certainly breathed new life into his career, going 6-4 so far with the Indians. Marlins have a chance to win this series. The Indians are trying to keep pace with Detroit, and we'll celebrate 2003 throughout the day. We'll have special guests on the field. We'll have special guests in the booth. And the Marlins and the Indians finish off a 3-game series.
Fish getting ready to go, but we're talking about the champs from 10 years ago, and Mike Mordecai kind enough to come over and join us. It was a nice celebration for your team here today, huh?
Yes, really nice. We love the stadium. Wish we could have played in this place.
You had some great memories as you watched the video board. What were you thinking about? They showed your hit here. They showed a clip to your teammates, and you got to relive here today.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was 10 years ago. It goes by awfully fast. But it's nice to see my old teammates. Don't get to see them that often, so when we actually do get together, it's nice to reminisce about some of that time.
How did becoming a world champion affect your life, Mike?
Well, I won a World Series in Atlanta in 1995. We lost to the Yankees in 1996, and I never thought I'd get a chance to face them again, and we got them in 03, and it was sweet revenge.
Mike Mordecai, thanks a lot.
Sir, Craig.
All right, we'll be back with the ball game. It's the Marlins and the Indians coming up here as we get set for the finale of this series from Marlins Park right after this.
The Fish and the Indians have split the first two of this 3-game series. Nathan Eovaldi, Scott Kazmir, your pitching matchups. All the ceremonies and all the world champs have been honored. We'll have guests throughout the ball game. For now, though, the Marlins turn their attention to the Indians and especially Michael Bourn. Pinch-A-Penny brings you the first pitch. Nathan Eovaldi fires a fastball 97 for a strike. And this ball game is underway. Bourn dominated the game last night with 3 stolen bases, scored 3 times, had a couple hits. And Eovaldi right back, same spot, 0-2.
Like back-to-back 97 with the fastball, and don't have to tell you the importance of keeping Michael Bourn off the bases.
Out to short, Echeverria whips it on over to first. And so there's an out. Here come the Indians lineup. Some guys getting days off. Terry Francona runs this bunch out there. J.M. Lexus presents it. You've seen Bourn. Mike Aviles gets the start at short. Jason Kipnis is in there at second. Ryan Rayburn hits cleanup as Drupal Cabrera gets the day off. Michael Brantley in left field. Jan Gomes behind the plate. Mark Reynolds at first. Lonnie Chisenhall is at third base. A little chopper on the first pitch, and Aviles is out. Eovaldi looked sharp early as Drupal Cabrera, Carlos Santana are the Indians, along with Nick Swisher, who get the day off today.
You see the last 3 starts for Nate Eovaldi, no run support. He just has not gotten any offense behind him, but it's good to see him have low pitch innings because he has a tendency to have a couple of high pitch innings, and then all of a sudden 5th, 6th inning that pitch count gets up.
And the Indians are a rather selective bunch. Jason Kipnis. Eovaldi bounces one at the plate. Kipnis with a nice night last night. 3 hits, drove in 3. Frustrating night for Miami. The Marlins had a great opportunity in the 9th inning and were unable to cash in. A sloppy game defensively as well, and a 4-3 loss for the Fish.
And we'll have to see today, Rich, how the Indians approach their running game after stealing 6 bases last night.
Big curveball is high, and it's 2-1. Eovaldi, Dodgers 11th round pick in 2008, and of course came to the Marlins in the Hanley Ramirez deal last year. People forget, and you see Terry Francona, his 13th big league year as a manager, Philadelphia first, then the nice 8-year run in Boston. Eovaldi's 23. People forget his major league debut was back in 2011. That's 100 miles an hour. Alvin, Texas, home of Nolan Ryan. That's home of Nathan Eovaldi. And Kipnis turns that 99-mile-an-hour fastball around and drills it into center field. Good hitting team, the Indians. Here's the Marlins defensively, brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic, Florida.
Well, that young outfield stays intact. We saw some great throws from Marisnik last night. Lucas Echeverria, Solano, and Logan Morrison. Jeff Mathis back there behind the plate. Perfect example of if you don't get the breaking pitch or off-speed stuff over, Kipnis just turned around a 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
A strike to Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn gets the start, and he's hot right now. A couple hits in this series. He had a 2-homer game on Thursday night to finish off the White Sox in a 4-game sweep by the Indians. And he's back to what he was 2, 3, 4 years ago, as the Tigers used him very much in a similar role. Move him around, spot starter. Rayburn getting the opportunity with the Indians and having a much better year than last year. He really struggled last year. Out towards Solano, takes the hop, gets the out. Eovaldi a quick first inning. Scott Kazmir reemerges when we get back. By Toyota. Let's go places. By AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability. 1-800-PICK-AT&T. Rethink possible. By Just for Men Mustache and Beard. And by Checkers. Feast on. Coventry first scoreless ball game. Indians and Marlins. Christian Yelich is in the box, and Lucas Giancarlo Stanton will follow. Scott Kazmir, after a year of pitching for the Sugarland Skeeters in the Atlantic League, is back in the big leagues, and he's been hot. Throws a strike to Yelich.
Yeah, you see his numbers, and certainly a surprise, a pleasant surprise for the Indians.
Last 8 starts, Kazmir He's 3-0 with a 2.16 ERA. A couple of adjustments with his delivery. His velocity is back. And Kazmir was a very good Ray over in Tampa Bay. Not so much an Angel. He struggled with the Angels. Roller out to short. Aviles makes the throw. Mark Reynolds over there at first base. All right, Miami's lineup with a backdrop of Mike Lowell. Jim Alexis presents it. We've seen Yelich, Ed Lucas, Giancarlo Stanton, Logan Morrison red hot right now. Donovan Solano at second. Danny Echeverria at short. Jake Marisnick had a nice series in center. Jeff Mathis back behind the plate. Rob Brantley caught last night. Nathan Eovaldi hits ninth.
It's a challenge for the left-handed hitters for Yelich and Logan Morrison facing Kazmir.
Well, the Marlins on Tuesday are going to see a lefty that they just saw at the start of the homestand. Jeff Locke of the Pirates. Charlie Morton, Garrett Cole are lined up to face the Fish in Pittsburgh as Lucas fouls it off. Marlins have Henderson, Alvarez, Tom Kohler, and then Jose Fernandez. In a Tuesday, Wednesday night, Thursday day game series in Pittsburgh. There's the changeup. Kazmir still has that.
Yeah, remember, he was the first-round pick of the Mets and then kind of went in a trade that didn't work out so well. A lot of Met fans thought. Traded to Tampa Bay for veteran Victor Zambrano at the time. That was back in '04.
As you noted with the Rays, a couple of all-star appearances. Then traded to the Angels in a 3-player deal. A lot of that salary driven. The piece that the Rays got back that they still have, Sean Rodriguez, with local ties here in Miami. And he was flat out released by the Angels in 2011. And they ate the rest of a sizable contract. Lucas turns, drives it, left field. It's going to the wall. And Ed Lucas, the ball gets lodged or lost somewhere. Lucas is still rounding third. He figures he'll give it inside the park run.
You might as well ask questions later.
Michael Brantley can't find the baseball.
First time we've seen that happen here at Marlins Park. Angel Hernandez saying, hey, it scooted under the padding.
Here's a look, and let's see if we can see where the ball escapes.
Looked like the cutter that Kazmir likes to throw, and Ed Lucas was able to really pull his hands in and get to it and kind of jumped up underneath. There it is, underneath that padding.
So it's a double for Lucas. There it is, right under the padding. Giancarlo Stanton now. Stanton 1 for 7 in this series. Most of the Marlins production has come behind Stanton. Logan Morrison. And Kazmir at 94 miles an hour comes in, and the reports are that the change in delivery upped his velocity, and you can see it right away. Ball and a strike.
With the left-hander on the mound, this is a guy you want to see get some pitches to hit and have some good swings today.
Kazmir goes 2-1. Marlins with a chance not only to win this series, but also to have a winning record on the homestand. They split with the Mets in a 4-game set, took 2 of 3 from the hot Pirates. Stanton's last home run was last Sunday. It was a decisive blow in the 3-2 win over the Pirates and Garrett Cole. 2-2. And he pops that one back behind second. Aviles and Kipnis, and it's Aviles who makes the catch. Here's the defense brought to you by Cleveland Clinic, Florida.
And you mentioned a few changes, Rich, with Brantley still in left, Bourne still in center, Ryan Rayburn gets the start in right, Mark Reynolds starting at first base, Kipnis, Aviles at short, Chisenhall at third base. Jan Gomes, first time we've seen him in this series, he's behind the plate.
So Morrison gets his swings. We talked about Morrison last night and his struggles against lefties this year. It does not fit his profile as a hitter either in the minor leagues or in his first few years in the major leagues. But with the hot streak going right now, Morrison 6 for 9 in the series. Mike Redmond has him in here against Kazmir. Lucas at second.
Boy, got that one to 96. This is certainly a Kazmir the Angels didn't see.
No, and this is an early Tampa Bay Kazmir right now. And he's put together, and his last start wasn't a great one. The 7 before that, he was brilliant. That's off the plate. Not by much.
He also gives them a little experience should they get to postseason. He pitched for the Rays against the Phillies in the World Series.
It's a little different than pitching for the Sugarland Skeeters. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Morrison and leaves Ed Lucas at second base. This looks like the old Kazmir. Good lefty. Bring your group to a game at Marlins Park. Take advantage of private group happy hours at the Clevelander. And enjoy the view from the Budweiser balcony. Or entertain your guests in one of the first-class suites with inclusive food and beverage items. Customize your next hospitality event. Go to marlins.com/groups today. Back to work. Nathan Eovaldi, Michael Brantley, Jan Gomes, and Mark Reynolds. Eovaldi not only bounced that one, but it looked like it clipped the home plate umpire, Paul Nart.
Well, this is where you really rely on Jeff Mathis's experience, because So far, Eovaldi's shown his usual good fastball. I mean, he's even thrown one 100 miles an hour. He's yet to throw a breaking pitch for a strike yet. He's used it a few times, but the hitters, Cleveland hitters, they'll just say, okay, we'll just let that breaking ball go by. It's not going to be a strike. We'll just sit on the fastball.
Bradley has yet to get a hit in this series. Smacks that one foul. 1-2. Indians obviously considered one of the hotter teams in baseball. The 8-game win streak snapped by the Marlins, but with a win last night, they've won 9 of 10. That one just gets by Eovaldi. Solano is there and makes a nifty play to get the out.
I love the route that Solano took. He doesn't come after. He goes to his right and then cuts in to make that play. Because the ball was headed up the middle. He made a good play and actually made it look pretty easy.
Now Gomes. Gomes had a nice series against the White Sox. The Brazilian catcher, the Brazilian backstop. But he has a Miami history. Southridge High School in Miami. There's a liner. Look out, folks. Southridge High School. And then University of Tennessee on to Barry University. One of 2 Barry University players to get to the big leagues. Yan Gomes. That's footage from the coaching staff at Barry University. Fastball misses up.
And we appreciate that. Thank you.
That's
good to see.
So he's the second from Barry University to get to the big leagues. The first, it's a good trivia question, has Marlin ties.
Yeah, you threw that on me before the game. I had to think a little bit.
Little tapper out towards short. Better hurry. Echeverria. Safe. Just beat it. Gomes runs well. And he beats the throw. So it's an infield hit for the 26-year-old catcher.
Talk about a bang-bang play. Everything done right. Effort there by Echeverria, but just the speed of Gomes. It looks like he beats it out. It's a close play, though. That's bang-bang. Wouldn't want to have to make that call.
Henry Owens, former Met, former Marlin. 25 games in the big leagues. Also a Buccaneer from Barry University. Now Mark Reynolds.
So more guys out of Southridge High School than Barry University.
Oh, I can go Southridge High School on you as well.
Go Southridge on me.
Robert Andino, Orlando Palmeiro, Freddie Gonzalez, Shannon Stewart, Jeff Gray, all big leaguers. Freddie, of course, managing the Marlins, now having a nice run in Atlanta. Swing and a miss by Reynolds. We were talking about how deep this Cleveland bench is when you've got guys like Reynolds, Rayburn is in and out of the lineup, Gomes, Jason Giambi, Mike Aviles. A lot of veterans.
You have a bench today with the lineup that Terry Francona has, filled with Drew Stubbs, who has started a lot. Then you have the switch hitters, Swisher, Cabrera, Santana, and then the veteran Jason Giambi. They're on his bench today.
0-2 pitch, and Reynolds fouls it back. For Mark Reynolds, he's a right-handed Adam Dunn, somewhat. Though not as prolific and as consistent as Dunn. Reynolds has had some big moments and big years in his career. 44 homers in 2009. And, of course, a major league mark of 233 strikeouts. He drives that one to left field, hits it well. Yelich goes back, looks up, bounces off the wall, bounces off Yelich. Gomes headed for third. He's held there. By trapping the ball against the wall, Yelich prevents Gomes from scoring. Reynolds has his 8th double of the season, and the Indians are set up second and third and 1 out.
Little slider, it flattened out somewhat. He threw some better breaking balls to Reynolds, except for that one, but a good play to smother it. And Gomes had to hold up just a little bit because he wasn't sure if that ball was going to get over Yelich's head.
So a big at bat for Lonnie Chisenhall with Kazmir on deck. And Eovaldi misses up and out. Ball and a strike.
Nate Eovaldi wants to continue the nice trend Marlins starting pitchers have been on since the middle of June.
Since that point, the Marlins one of the best ERAs in baseball.
37 of 42 starts. Marlins starters have given up 3 earned runs or less.
One, two. Breaking ball, ground ball, foul. Marlins were back on the infield. Morrison was deep at first, so that run would have scored had it been fair.
It's pretty close, too, to being fair.
No, that wasn't quite Chad Qualls-like, but Chisenhall is back in the box.
He'll still hear it from a few teammates, though.
Had he fist pumped and then rolled, then he would have been there. Soft liner and nestles into right field for a base hit. Reynolds got a late start. He'll be held. And the Indians are on the board first, 1-0. Lonnie Chisenhall with an RBI single, his first hit of the series.
Pretty good pitch by Eovaldi. Really got in on Chisenhall, jammed him, but he got enough of it. There's the fastball in on him, just over the head of Donovan Solano.
At the corners, infield back for 2. You can see Kazmir's career numbers. Not a lot of at-bats with the Rays or the Angels or the Indians. And for Eovaldi, a guy you really want to go get, you got Bourne on deck.
You got pitchers in the American League that get the opportunity and have to swing the bat or bunt. They might not even know what the sacrifice bunt sign is, so they have to kind of review that before they play a National League team.
Bouncer up the middle, might be 2. Solano to Echeverria, who turns the double play. And the Marlins get out of the inning. But the Indians get a run and lead it 1-0.
Oaktree Healthcare of Florida.
In Miami, crowd arrived early to watch the big ceremony before the ball game, the celebration of the 2003 World Championship, 10th anniversary. Scott Kazmir was already signed and in baseball at the time. He was a 2002 15th overall pick of the Mets.
And you're probably wondering, Rich, how I can connect Scott Kazmir to the 03 championship team. This is my connection. He broke Josh Beckett's high school strikeout record in Texas. So there's the connection.
Very nice. Donovan Solano, Adeiny Echeverria, Jake Marisnick were a half inning away from being joined by Jack McKeon, our first guest in the booth. Kazmir gave up a double to Ed Lucas, but got Stanton to pop out, Morrison to strike out, and now he's got a 1-0 lead. Sends up a fastball for a strike. Solano a hit and a couple RBIs in this series. Oh, 2. The Indians last year had the second worst record in the American League. Only Minnesota had a worse record. But a real turnaround this year. Kazmir's been part of that. He's won 6 games. This is his 20th start. The Indians open play as the second wild card team in the American League. The Rays at 65 and 45 are just a game back of Boston, Terry Francona's old ball club. And after a year out at ESPN doing Sunday night games, Francona happy to be back in the dugout. We did ask him.
Yeah, you asked him today.
What he did with all his ties and suits. He said they're in a box and they don't come out. Spoken like a guy that doesn't like to wear a tie.
He said they have a nice relaxed travel dress code.
Solano pops out. And here comes Echeverria. So the Indians are 3 back of Detroit. The problem for the Indians is Detroit just won't lose lately. They've won 7 in a row. But if it ended going into play today, it would be the Indians at the Rays in the wild card game. Speaking of the Rays, we were talking about the trade that took Kazmir from Tampa Bay to the Angels, and we noted that Sean Rodriguez was in that trade. One of our crack staff members, James, tweeted in that the Rays also got a young Venezuelan lefty named Alex Torres. And Torres has been dynamite this year for Joe Madden and Jim Hickey out of the bullpen. He's 3-0 with an 0.27 ERA in 20 games.
Well, the Rays have a way in finding some pitching.
Echeverria steps out.
Check in on the scouting report. Scott Kazmir, 2+ pitches. We've seen that live fastball, changeup. Watch out at second base. He has one of those quick moves to second, and he will go upstairs with the fastball, and we've already seen him throw 96.
Changeup misses away. Checkers, Fox tracks, you can see one of those pitches that was called a ball. It was actually a strike. 2-2. Liner to the shortstop, Aviles. And Echeverria lines out. There are 2 outs. Here comes Jake Marisnick.
Better swings the last couple of days from Adeiny Echeverria. He really had gone a little downhill after he had picked things up. He was in the mid-250s for a while, but better swings last couple of days.
Marisnik 3 hits in the series. Some terrific defense out there in center field as well. Marisnik made a throw to the plate last night in which Michael Bourne got in under the tag of Rob Brantley. He also, on a diving attempt, started that it was a liner that is foul. Earlier this series started that odd double play in which Donovan Solano on the relay turned and got the out at first. So he's had a really active and nice series, a nice homestand. You can see that he's starting to feel comfortable both in center field and at the plate.
We've seen him make that adjustment. He's going to have to concentrate on it today because it looks like Kazmir is trying to bust him in with that good fastball. We've seen him make adjustments to that over the last week.
Two and two. Changeup bottom fell out. Marisnik got a piece, and it was squeezed by Gomes. 1-2-3, go the fish.
The new Marlins skipper, Jack.
2003, Jack McKeon arrived, and the Marlins got to the postseason and won it all. The victory parade still fresh in a lot of people's minds. Amazing. 10 years ago, first pitch to Michael Bourne on the ground. Donovan Solano flips it to first. And the man to my right looks better now than he did back in 2003. Jack McKeon, it's great to see you back at the ballpark.
Thanks, Rich. I'm glad to hear I look better now.
Yes, you do. I know.
You know, with that new heart and all that stuff, man, I got a warranty for 25 years.
You're ready to go. Ready to go.
Yes, sir.
That's good. You're ready to watch the young kid up in Greensboro. We're anxious to get on.
I've been watching. Yeah, I've been up there watching him. He's, he needs to play. It's a little different, situation coming out of college with the aluminum bats. So he's going to take a little while to get adjusted. But I look at it this way: I'm not about to judge him after 10 games. Let him play.
And we're talking about Colin Moran, of course. But I want to ask you, in 03, and I know you've answered this a thousand times, I'm sure. But when you took the ball club over, at what point did you say to yourself, "This club's got a chance"?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Tommy. I thought I had a chance when I took over. Because I go back to telling the story about when I managed the Reds, and you'd come in, and I used to come in and play the Marlins, and I would sit there with Don Gullett, this is in 2000, and say, boy, wouldn't I like to manage that club. And but when I followed them, you know, luckily I followed them, so I had a little background on them. And I'd say probably 3 weeks, I figured we could win it. I just had to sell my program, that was all. Sell the guys on being unselfish and dedicated. And I tell you, all the years I managed, 17 years in the big league, I never had a club that was so unselfish as that club was. I mean, you know, we talked about it the other day. Conine bunting, never bunted in his life. I put the bunt on in Pittsburgh or somewhere. You know, a guy that played, he's probably never bunted 10 times. They never complained. They just did the job, and we win the game. And that's the way they were.
Was there one guy that helped? I mean, it always helps when a superstar or somebody buys in or somebody, you know, takes charge. Was there one guy, or was it just a collective group?
I think it was a collective group, and as I say all the time, you know, people ask me, who were your leaders? You know who my leaders were? Mike Mordecai, Redmond, Hollingsworth, Brian Banks. Those are the guys that weren't playing.
And you're talking about guys who weren't in there every day.
That's right, and guys that had a legitimate gripe because they wasn't playing. These guys were always rooting for the guys, pulling for the guys, encouraging the guys. They were great. I used to have meetings and apologize to them. And after the meeting, the guys would come to me and say, "Hey, Skip, don't worry about us. We're fine. You just keep doing what you're doing." And you don't find that. You know, Tommy, you played enough. The guys that are utility guys, and you see a guy struggling out there, you always gripe and you want to play. Well, I can play. I'm better than he is. You know, I should be playing. These guys were great.
And I'm sure you're happy to see Mike Redmond get an opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, I helped them with I helped them with Minnesota because I had some ties with Minnesota, and they called me about Red. And what about Red when he was a free agent? I said, grab him. Great guy. He played up there a few years. They'd come and say, thank you, great. He called me about Louis Castillo. I recommended him. He did a good job for him. They kept thanking me. I said, what do I work for you guys or what?
Swing and a miss. Jason Kipnis strikes out. Back with Jack McKeon. Marlins trailing the Indians 1-0. Came out to home plate. Their skipper was there to greet him and present them with a special bottle of champagne commemorating 10 years. And that is a bottle. And Jack, my partner Tommy Hutton was up here working. He was part of that 2003 group, so go right ahead.
On behalf of the 2003 World Champions, Tommy, we'd like to have you share this bottle of champagne because you were a very important part of that team as well.
Thank you, That's great. This will find a nice spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be open.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. 20 years from now, you can open it.
6th inning, we may open it. Mathis fouls it back to the screen. Jack McKeon, now you still, aside from winning the World Championship, coming back and managing the Marlins a couple of years ago, you're still in the organization. You've had a chance to see a lot of the kids that we're seeing now at the big league level come through the system. Christian Yelich, Jose Fernandez. Your thoughts as you've watched this season and these kids play?
Well, I've got a chance to see him play here in the major leagues, but you got to remember with this little injury that I had, I didn't get this. I was scheduled to go to Jacksonville the day it happened, and I never got to Jacksonville, and I never got to New Orleans. So I've seen Greensboro and Jupiter, but I've seen Yelich last year, in the minor leagues, and Osunu and some of these kids. I haven't seen the center fielder as much. But spring training was a good opportunity to get to know these kids. And there's a lot of talent here, really. The only thing is, let's not put them in the Hall of Fame yet. They're going through a growing process, and they're going to have some ups and downs, and they're going to struggle. And, I look for this club here in about 2 years to really be a tough contender. And they got the outstanding young pitching, and if you look at our organization and say, where's our strength? Our strength, again, is in the pitching department. But that's a blessing because maybe we'll have to use one of those 2 guys or 3 guys to trade for that bomber that we need or that extra bat that we need to get us over the hump.
That's a great point. That's how teams build championships. It's not just the young players on the field. It's the pieces you're able to get back. Mathis.
Well, I can remember, I remember my days at San Diego when I was general manager. I had Sandy Alomar, the catcher that's Cleveland now. I had Viagra. I had Yen. I had all these guys in the minor leagues that don't have a chance to come up and play because I'm pretty solid at the major league level. So I use them as trade bait.
Throw behind. He's out. Mathis is picked. Kipnis snuck behind him. And Yan Gomes with a quick throw to first, and the Marlins make a big base running mistake.
Yeah, he got baited by the first baseman coming in, and of all people, Jeff Mathis, who's an outstanding catcher, should know that. But a great play by the Indians, well executed, and a perfect throw by Gomes.
Yeah, Tommy, sometimes you get caught. You're trying to be, with a lack of speed, you're trying to get that extra step or two, and the pitcher bunts through it or takes a pitch. It's tough.
Now, Jack, we talked about it a lot while you were in the hospital and going through your heart situation. I understand that, Tommy, it's taken Tommy a good solid year to figure out the iPad and the iPhone, watching games on the phone. I understand that you actually watched games in the hospital on your phone. Is that right?
I watched the games on the iPad and the phone. And, thanks to my son who's up to date on all that new technology, he was able to hook me up with all that stuff. So I didn't even, I didn't mind my stay in the hospital because I got a chance to watch you guys. And by the way, you're doing a heck of a job.
Well, we appreciate the support all the time.
Only trouble is sometimes I wish I was out at the Cleveland there.
You see, we knew that you had a heart condition, so we tried to temper our use of camera 12.
Yeah.
We didn't want to cause a,
Yeah, when I seen them dancers out there, I said, "Oh my God, I want to get back and get in shape so I can go to the Cleveland."
What, Jack? What do you got coming up in the next couple of months? What's the organization have you doing?
Well, I could, pretty much do what I want to do, but I'm going to try to go out and see some of these kids. I do see Greensboro. I've been to Greensboro, 4 or 5 times in the last couple of weeks, but trying to figure out a schedule to go to Jacksonville. And maybe down to Jupiter again to see the kids. I'm not really crazy about going to New Orleans because I don't think we got a lot, except maybe a couple pitchers or something. But the basic guys are in probably Jupiter and Jacksonville.
Hey, give me some insight. We got one out, I think, because Carl Pavano is going to come on with us, I think, in the 5th inning. Give us some insight how your decision, because looking back at 03, he was one of the team starters, but you got him working out of the bullpen. Then you also used him as a starter.
Which one, Carl?
Yeah, Pavano.
Well, as I was telling those guys.
How'd you sell that to him?
Well, I don't have any problem because he's one guy that had worked at the bullpen, so it was pretty easy, to make him realize that, hey, you may be an asset to us in this situation. But as we were talking last night, Jeffrey and Carl and Mike Mordecai, people don't realize, but, you talk about this guy, and I listen to you guys. Well, the managers don't have anybody in the bullpen tonight because they worked 2 nights in a row. Hey, Pavano, Willis, Beckett, and Penny, our 4 starters, if they don't pitch in the bullpen, we don't win the World Series. And they were, how about Beckett? A 2-hit shutout in Florida against the Cubs. 2 days later, he goes 4 innings against the Cubs in Chicago.
And your decision to start him on 3 days rest in the World Series up in New York, what went into your thinking there? And obviously it paid off in a big way.
Well, and no disrespect to anybody else in the club, but the pitcher that was scheduled had been bombed pretty much, been hit hard, and I thought, knowing the makeup of Beckett, this guy's got the guts of a burglar, and everybody said, well, and I got to saying, I want to pitch this guy, so I called him in. I said, how do you feel about pitching 3 days rest? He said, let me go out and throw a bullpen and let you know. He went out and threw a bullpen. He came back. He said, I'm your guy. That's all I needed. Because I knew that this guy's going to be the toughest guy I could put out there at this particular day. Knowing, too, that if we don't, knowing the Yankees, I am not going to let them have a shot at the 7th game. Because they have some kind of mystique that something good happens to them in the 7th game.
Yeah, at Yankee Stadium. Did you think Beckett would give you 9, though?
Well, I had 2 guys warming up in the 8th, and people said to me, oh, I hope you. I said, it was a decoy. I said, there's no way I'm taking Beckett out of this game unless they tie it. But I tell you this, in the first inning, believe me, guys, in the first inning after he threw the 2 hitters, I said, I think the Rosie on the bench. They're not going to touch him tonight. I mean, he had electrifying stuff that night. Yeah, it was a big gamble, yeah, but, no.
Big payoff.
Yeah.
Yelich at the plate, the count's 2-2. Eovaldi's at first. And a fastball, Yelich hits it to left. Brantley has good range, and he's back there and makes the catch.
No risk, no reward, Rich.
That's right. That's right.
And if he didn't succeed, I was coming back with Pavano on 3 days later. But it was fun. And like I said, these guys were so wonderful. I mean, it looked like, and you were with us, Tommy, all year. It looked like as soon as we got rolling, ain't nobody to stop us. Because I kept telling them, let's get to 500, boys, and we're going to roll. And boy, we got to 500, we rolled.
And of course, it all starts with pitching. Had great rotation during the year.
But when you look, they had great starter, but nobody in the bullpen. We had Looper for a while. And
he did a good job. Chad Fox did
a
good job.
Well, but he's an August guy.
Yeah, he didn't come till later.
Oh, and he pitched every day, and I knew he had a bad arm. Everybody else knew he had 3 or 4 operations, but we're going to get the maximum out of him, and boy, he was a lifesaver. And Obina came in and did a great job when Looper slipped. And then Looper came back and didn't bail us out.
And we've talked, Jack, so many times about that infield being possibly the best defensive infield I know I've ever seen, and I don't know about you, but it was just tremendous.
Well, I agree with you, Tom. It was like 4 vacuum cleaners. And, I thought that Gonzo was probably the best shortstop I've ever had until I watched this guy we got out here now.
Oh,
Echeverria.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to change my mind.
See, you'd have fun saying Echeverria every day, too.
Oh, God. I mean, how quick he gets rid of the ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And all the time. He gets rid of it quick all the time.
Yeah, no step and throw. Boom.
Accurate.
And, right on the money from all kinds of angles. I'm really impressed with him. I never saw him before until spring. But I asked my son about him, who's with the Nationals. And he said, oh, Dad, this guy's great. I said, well, the problem is with the bat. He said, let me tell you something. This guy is going to hit. He is going to be a good hitter. And I'm starting to see it.
He's still young.
Yeah.
And this is his first full season in the big leagues.
Well, that's the thing we got to understand, Rich. These guys are going to go through process.
Lucas, a liner, and Kipnis gets it.
They're going to take time. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to fall. But, when you look back and say, give them a couple of years, man, we're going to have some fun.
Well, we're having fun today, and a lot of it is with you. Jack McKeon,
thanks,
thank
guys.
you very
Thanks,
much.
Jack. Thank you.
Guys.
Always good to see you.
All right.
The skipper of the world champs. It's a great shot. Mike Redmond, skipper of the Marlins, joins us now. Skip, thanks for joining us. Your ball club since the end of May has been terrific. 30-25, one of the best kept secrets in baseball. You got to be pretty proud with the way they've turned it.
I am absolutely very happy with the effort for all of those that have watched us over the first couple months and to where we are now. Obviously very pleased with how far we've come. We've gotten ourselves healthy, but the guys have continued to battle and they're playing their butts off, and it's been a fun group to get to watch it improve.
I would think, Red, that has to be the most pleasing to you is the way the guys go out there and attack the game every night.
Yes, absolutely. And we've lost some tough games. We've won some great games, and I think it's remarkable to me how well these guys have been able to come back and bounce back and turn the page and just take each day for what it's worth. And it's been a lot of fun to be around these guys.
You've had to handle a lot of young players this year. How have you done it? Because you've assimilated them right into the big leagues pretty seamlessly.
Well, I just think you got to be in touch with these guys. You got to talk to them. You got to talk to them about situations. You got to make them feel comfortable. And I know when I got to the big leagues, the environment was totally different. But playing with a lot of young guys, I know that guys want to feel comfortable. They want to fit in. So the more you talk to them, the more you make them comfortable in their surroundings, the better they're going to be. And I think we've created an atmosphere around here where guys. We knew we were going to have a lot of young guys, but they can just come in and be themselves and play their game, and it's been great to watch and be a part of.
Red, one last one. I don't know if I've ever asked you this. At what point in your career as a player did you say, I think I want to manage. I think I want to stay in this game?
Well, I think it was after, I don't know how many years, but probably after, 5 or 6 years. I just, when you start to learn more about the game and I guess the intricacies of calling a game and the running game and all that stuff, I just felt like it was something that I needed to do and needed to try, and I'm enjoying it now. I can say some days more than others, but I'm enjoying where we're headed, and I know we're headed in the right direction, and it's going to be fun down the road.
All right, 2 quick outs from Nathan Uvalde.
Yeah.
Thanks for the visit, Skip. Good luck today.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Mike Redmond, our thanks to him for joining us in the game. Ryan Rayburn, Michael Brantley, 2 quick outs.
Tell you what, Rich, there are a lot of young players, and the Marlins certainly have them, that will someday look back on their career and appreciate the fact that early in their career they were able to play for a guy like Mike Redmond.
There's Jan Gomes now. Gomes had an infield hit back in the second. We talked about his unique path to the big leagues from Southridge High School here in Miami. Well, I guess you have to start obviously in São Paulo, Brazil. Southridge High School, University of Tennessee, then transferred to Barry University. And the first Brazilian to get to the big leagues. He had a nice moment this last week. He faced Andre Rienzo, who was the second Brazilian to get to the big leagues. Rienzo, a pitcher on that World Baseball Classic team for Brazil. Gomes played in the qualifying round and had a great series, helped Brazil qualify for the World Baseball Classic. To right. And Stanton makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Nathan Eovaldi. 1-0, Indians on top.
I walked over here in the Legend Suite where the Marlins from 2003 are here. And wouldn't you know who would be sitting next to each other but Mike Mordecai, Andy Fox, Brian Banks left us for some reason. But you guys, you're forever tied, right, Andy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that 03 team, the bond that we had is unbelievable. A good group of guys. And, just even showing up today, I mean, we haven't seen each other in a while, and we kind of picked up where we left off.
Mike, how many kids do you have? Because they're all TV hogs here.
3 boys are here, so they're a handful, but they're enjoying themselves.
I think they like the limelight even more than you do.
No, you know what? I was the serious one out of the group. I was always the one, hey, lighten up, Morty, will you? And I'm like, I can't be that way, man. But yeah, they're enjoying themselves.
It was a loose group on the bench, huh?
Very, very.
Oh, was Foxy the craziest of them?
The funniest thing, Jack about had a heart attack about 10 years ago. Because the first pitch of the game, if it was a ball, Foxy would always stand up and go, get somebody up! So Jack's first day, when Andy did that, Jack came off that seat about that high. He's like, what? Sit down, we can't get anybody up right now. I'll never forget it. I always take a Foxy when that happens. So I've actually broke that out a couple of times, but I gave him credit for it.
Oh, that is great. You did keep him loose. They kept you loose too, right?
Yeah, when you got to have a short memory and have some fun when you're not playing every day because it's such a grind. And being around these guys probably brought a lot of things out of us that we never brought. But it was such a good group on that bench. I mean, we had fun, and it's some memories you'll never forget.
Hey, Andy, among the guys on that bench was Mike Redmond. Did you see the manager in Mikey at the time?
No, Red? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we had to sit there and manage the game because we wanted to figure out when we were going to get in there and not put us in. But no, we all, we've all stayed in the game and in the same capacity. Ironically, Morty and I do the same thing, different organizations. But when you're sitting there coaching the game when you're not playing, and you learned a lot.
I asked Morty this earlier? How did the 2003 season change your life, Andy?
Oh, it changed it tremendously. I was fortunate enough to play in New York and do that, and then go a long time and not get to the playoffs or anything like that. I think too, like a lot of I draw from the relationships that we had and the group of guys. Even today, I still talk about the 03 team and the fun group of guys that we had, and seeing everybody here today. It's been a blast.
Great seeing all of you, and you got on TV. Are you happy now?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to you guys.
All right, good guys down there, and great memories here today. The Marlins and the Indians, of course, met in the '97 World Series. This is a celebration of 2003.
Rich, we were talking before the game. The amazing thing that I don't think sinks into fans well enough is that here the Marlins celebrating the 03 championship 10 years ago. And we'll finish the story because people don't realize the last time the Indians won a World Series was 1948.
Scott Kazmir sharp today, 1-0 Indians. Brought to you by Honda. Visit your Honda dealer for great lease and finance deals on fuel-efficient Hondas. And by Coventry Healthcare of Florida, lighting the way to better health. Good to know that camera 12 helped Jack McKeon as he...
In the recovery process.
Recovered while watching the games on his iPad and phone. Carl Pavano will be our guest in a little bit. There's the suite with all the world champions. Back to the ball game. Nathan Eovaldi back to work. Alani Chisenhall RBI single is the only run of this ball game. Mark Reynolds doubled in front of Chisenhall's single. Reynolds getting his first start of the series. Reynolds, one of the talented third basemen to come out of that Virginia area. David Wright, Ryan Zimmerman. Of course, out in the outfield, you could throw Michael Kadire and the Uptons out there, too. That is strike three called. And Eovaldi, all of a sudden, has clicked in. And he has retired 8 in a row.
Yeah, it's amazing what's clicked in has been the slider. And interestingly, with the fastball that he has, he's recorded 2 strikeouts. That was his second, and 8 ground ball outs. How about that?
Now Chisenhall, and he takes a strike.
More importantly, no walks for Nate Eovaldi today.
Chisenhall knocks it foul. South Carolina native and a first-round pick of the Indians back in 2008. See the Indians with their batting cap. They've got the block C on it. They've got a variety of color schemes and logos that they use. Very traditional uniforms that not only going back to the, as you pointed out, that World Championship year of '48, but also back to the Major League movies. Willie Mays Hayes, and Dorn, and Serrano. Although Terry Francona wasn't selling tires last year. Here's the 1-2. Going foul back to the screen. And it is 1-2. And for the Indians, one of the guys that they, the last 3-4 years never really got full use out of because of injuries. Grady Sizemore. Sizemore, now 31, is still recovering from his second knee surgery, and both of those surgeries were microfracture surgeries to his left and his right knees. He didn't play at all in 2012. He played 71 games in 2011, played in just 33 games in 2010. Echeverria deep in the hole, quick release.
That's what Jack was talking about. That ball had some funny spin too. He stays with it, and then that quick release. That's what gets him through a lot of plays that are borderline plays. He has such a quick release and accurate throws.
Scott Kazmir now. Nice to hear Jack McKeon say that may be the best shortstop he's laid eyes on. Because when Jack talked about that run of great shortstops that the Padres developed, good second baseman too. Alomar, Guillen, Cora. And then, of course, his years managing Alex Gonzalez.
That is high praise.
Kazmir up the middle, and he's got a base hit. Scott Kazmir, a 2-out single. Even Jack McKeon's on social media. And so he may even vote in the AT&T Uverse Twitter poll. Favorite Marlin World Series MVP? Is it Livan? Is it Beckett? Fish MVP, Livan. Fish MVP, Beckett.
Good question.
Michael Bourne has bounced out twice. I think for Eovaldi, just keeping him off base has been a big improvement from last night. He was on base 3 times last night. He scored each time. He had a stolen base in each of those at-bats.
You talked earlier, Rich, about the trade that brought Nate Eovaldi to the Marlins, sending Hanley Ramirez and Randy Choate to the Dodgers. The Marlins also got a right-hander, Scott McGough, out of Oregon, and having a real good year in Double-A this year. He's 4-0, has an ERA at 2.54, working out of the bullpen.
I've not met him yet, but when I do, you got to ask the obligatory question if his nickname is the Crime Dog.
And I'll be honest, and I apologize if I was wrong. Not sure if it's McGough or McGuff. we'll find out someday.
Well, we'll ask him your question first, and if the answer is McGuff, then we'll ask him my question. Solano flips to first. Bourne is 0 for 3. It's a 1-0 game halfway through. Shutting out the Marlins. Well, you heard Jack McKeon talk about this guy and how important he was in 2003. A very nice major league career, maybe not over yet. Carl Pavano, welcome back to what is this your first time inside Marlins Park?
Yeah, yesterday was the first time I got to check out the stadium. This is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. You guys got a pretty good view here, not only the stadium, but the skyline right there.
Right. That is
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
One of the best things about Marlins Park. First of all, tell us about you. I know you had a physical scare, and your health is coming back to you now.
Yeah, little by little. Just some things that had gone wrong. That happens when you had a splenectomy, and it led into some other things that had to be addressed. But I'm feeling a lot better, gaining my weight back. I've always been a guy that had to lose weight, so I had fun trying to gain 60 pounds back. To be honest, I'm not going to lie about it. It's too bad I had to go through what I went through. To get that opportunity to finally have to gain some weight. But, I'm feeling good.
Well, and you're watching not only the Marlins, but you're watching a teammate in two different places, Mike Redmond, as a first-year manager. Did you, when you were pitching to him in either South Florida or up in Minnesota, think that Red would ever be a big league manager?
I always felt like he definitely has the character and the know-all to do it. I always enjoyed, throwing with him and being my battery mate out there. I always enjoyed it. And I had like you said, I had an opportunity when I got traded to the Twins, and pitch with him as the battery mate. It was a good time. We had some good conversations over the years, and today it was nice to see him. And he looks great. Looks great.
Question for you: memories you have from just looking back and remembering that Game 4 of the World Series. That was that extra inning game where Alex hit the home run. But you matched up against Clemens.
Yeah.
That was quite a game, and everybody thought that was going to be his last game.
Yeah, it was. And you know what? I remember when they did the 7th-inning stretch, and I'm sitting in the dugout hanging on to our season, and all my teammates are on the step cheering for him, and I'm going, what's going on here? We're in the World Series. You could cheer for him next year. But it was a great experience, and things worked out well, and we're here all together, reunited again, and reliving the old times, and it doesn't get much better than this right now.
Who's been fun for you to see? Maybe somebody you hadn't seen in a while.
Oh, all the guys. We have all had pretty good relationships together. We all found a way to make each other laugh, and we picked up where we left off. It's good to see everyone, to be honest with you. Lenny Harris, he's always chirping in my ear, so he's definitely been all over me. Nothing's changed there.
Did that rotation that you were in feed off each other? I mean, especially once Dontrell arrived and you took off?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. And we were all dynamically at different stages in our careers. And I think that's what made our team so special. You know, we later on in the year, we traded for the veteran presence that we needed, which brought us over the top. The Conine, you know, and we got a couple other guys that really implemented, you know, the veteran presence that we needed. And we had a lot of young guys that were still feeling their way through the big leagues, still trying to find a way to be successful. And it all came together, and obviously our manager was a big part of that, with that change that we made halfway through the year.
They had some hard throwers, and then you had the tricky left-hander, Mark Redmond, too.
Yeah, yes we did. Yes we did. So we got to experience some things that not many guys have gotten to experience, which is pretty cool, really cool.
Now, I know you said that you've started to get back out on the golf course and do some more active stuff. And is there a possibility you're going to pick a baseball up and see what you got left in the tank?
Yeah, I think I owe it to myself. I mean, I went out in a way that wasn't my ideal way that I'd like to end my career. But, you know, we'll see. Time will tell. We'll see what the plan is moving ahead. And I'll give myself an opportunity and see where it goes. I mean, regardless, I've really enjoyed my career. And if this is the, you know, the end of it, then we'll see. Time will tell.
Well, you look at a guy like Scott Kazmir, who was pitching in independent ball last year. And now he's on an outstanding 2-month run with the Indians.
Looking really good too. And he was dead, you know, dead right when he was with Tampa Bay. And I was surprised to see him have that little fall off. But you know what? Sometimes those things, you have to go through those things to figure it out and get that consistency. And you know, I'm sure he's a lot stronger now than he was before all that.
Yeah, Rich and I were talking, even in independent ball, he had an ERA about 5.5, so it wasn't like last year he was lights out there.
Yeah, I mean, it takes some time, too, as a pitcher, feeling your way through your mechanics, especially when you have some injuries and you have some time off. I mean, it's such a momentum game and rhythm game that it takes a while for a pitcher to get back to where they were, especially when you have some injuries.
What went through? What did you learn in that 03 season? Because the next year was the year you had a terrific year. You won 18 games after that 03 season. What did you build off of?
I think my command got better. I think, you know, I started going to my changeup a little more, learning how to change speeds, you know, being less reliable and trying to blow guys away, using my sinker a lot more early in the count to get quick outs, which keeps the pitch count down. And that kind of develops into something that, you know, later on in my career that helped me a lot. I mean, later on I was more efficient with less stuff than I was when I was younger, which to me tells me that I could have probably been a little more aggressive as a younger guy because I threw harder. But as I got older, I maybe got a little smarter. My wife probably wouldn't back me on that. But, but you know, I ended up getting a little more efficient. And that's everything for a starting pitcher. You want to go deep into the games. That's what they pay us for. And it's tough to do it when you're at 85 pitches in the fifth. You know, so
it's such a great point because it's something we see starting pitchers getting away from because there are a lot of max effort guys.
Yeah.
And we kind of see that over the last few years, but there are still some guys who, like a Jose Fernandez, who likes to go deep into games, and he's only 21.
That's great. I watched him pitch the other night. He's got a special arm. And really seen some of his interviews. Seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's going to do some good things. You know, with health and everything's looking pretty good for him.
Yeah, just 4 months into the big leagues, we've seen it both on the field and off the field. Mathis takes a fastball for a strike, and he counts 2-2. Scott Kazmir has been dazzling here. Miami has just one hit, and the Indians have a 1-0 lead. We're visiting with Carl Pavano as we celebrate 2003 in the World Championship. Javi, thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck in
Thanks
your
for
recovery.
All right, Tommy.
Good to see
seeing you.
All right.
All right, guys.
Carl Pavano, a world champion. The Indians on top, 1-0. Mustache and Beard Play Like a Champ profile. Jeff Conine, our own original Marlin in '93. Had a great start to his Marlin career, and then was a member of both the '97 and 2003 World Championship teams. And in 2003 at 367 in that magical postseason run. And he's with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Thank you very much, Rich. Nate Bump is with us, and Jeff Conine, and Dinah will be with us in the postgame show. Who have you enjoyed catching up with? I know Mr. Bump.
Yes, Mr. Bump was telling stories last night about striking me out in spring training. I was really mad, but I don't remember it, but he seems to remember. Even my body language was not good.
Nate, tell us what happened.
It's funny how we forget the things that we don't want to remember, you know? Three pitches, he didn't swing at one of them, and then he gives a big sigh and walks off the field like he just lost his dog. But
spring training.
I try to bring back those good positive memories, you know?
You were a Marlin at the time, and he was an Oriole?
Yeah, that's correct. It was just a really good memory for me, and I just thought I could share that. Good old times, you know, good days.
And, you know, spring training, no memory of this.
It might have been okay, maybe the 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out, but I don't know about the sigh and walking off with my tail between my legs. I don't quite remember it that way.
Competitive guy, indeed. Nate, who have you enjoyed catching up with?
All the guys. I mean, you don't realize it, but the older we get, the more memories we have, and the more important we feel that, you know, our accomplishments are on the field. Obviously, Jeff's a little bit older than I am, so but we all love that camaraderie, and that's really what we miss in the game the most. And getting back together with all the guys is really important, and it's good. It's fun.
And what a great moment for your ball club, and the memory of it. Is it something you think of often in a year?
Yeah.
Every now and then?
Yeah, you think about it, and it just grows more special, I think, as time goes on. You know, the older you get, the farther removed you are from the game, and you tend to appreciate it even more.
And you can remember all these details, like forget the World Series, a spring training at bat. I mean, that's not a little. Does that even count?
No, actually, it doesn't. It doesn't count,
so,
but it depends on who you talk to.
If you talk to me, this guy, it counts. I love it.
Thanks, guys. It's back to you.
All right, thank you, Craig. Through all this today, Nathan Eovaldi and Scott Kazmir have been pitching quite well.
How about this, Rich? So far this series, Marlins starting pitching has struck out 22 and walked 3. And Eovaldi's gotten 11 ground ball outs today.
He walks Jason Kipnis. And for Eovaldi, his first walk of the ball game. Ryan Rayburn comes up now for the Indians. The Indians have won 9 of their last 10. Miami has won 8 of their last 13, so the Marlins have been on a nice run as well. And here's Rayburn, who's in the cleanup spot. Terry Francona giving Nick Swisher, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Carlos Santana a day off. But as we noted at the start of the series, the Indians bench is veteran and good. And when you can plug a guy like Rayburn in, Mike Aviles in, Jan Gomes in, you don't lose a whole lot.
Eovaldi's really, I think, helping the fact that, remember, 6 stolen bases from the Indians last night. And with his quick moves to first, with his quickness to the plate, he's trying to shut that down. Remember, Kipnis at first has 21 steals this year.
There's a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the only little blip on the radar screen for Eovaldi today was that second inning, an infield base hit, a couple of hits, an RBI single by Chisenhall, and that's been all. It's the only scoring of the game.
To center, Marisnik back and makes the catch. He goes back on a ball quite well. He made a catch earlier in the ball game on a deep fly ball off the bat of Mike Aviles. Good break, good angle, and we know that he has nice speed.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. He makes it look easy. But he goes back, he turns his body, gets the right angle, gets to the spot, and makes the catch.
Now Eovaldi turns his attention to Michael Brantley. Eovaldi at 82 pitches. Kazmir is at 81. Top 6, 2 outs. Indians and Marlins have split the first 2 of this 3-game set. Miami winning on Friday night behind a dazzling performance from Jose Fernandez, who struck out 14. The Marlins pounded the Indians for 10 runs on 16 hits. Last night, the Indians held on tight. Chris Perez in the ninth for a 4-3 win. Marlins had a pair of runners on to finish the game.
Well, 16 hits on Friday night, and just 7 hits combined last night and so far today.
Brantley still looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 9. And that won't get it done. Solano takes a nice hop from the outfield grass. He throws him out. Bottom of the 6th. Miami down 1-0. Let's join our friends over in the Spanish television booth. Joe and Cookie.
Rich and Tommy, how are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We'd like a few more runs, but Cookie, when we head to Kansas City, we'll be there on our next road trip. We're going to try to make a swing through the Royals Hall of Fame, and we're going to check things out. They have a new exhibit in the ballpark that they've upgraded.
You know, Tommy, you know, when you start thinking back and remembering about the things in your life, you know, that are important, it's just like tonight here, we remember the 2003 World Series, you know, the way we won that World Series, and all those players are here. It brings back a lot of memories and a lot of good times that we had together as a team in Kansas City, and I'm sure that the same thing happened here with Jack McHugh and this club that won their second World Series. So it's great that we are part of the game of baseball, and we contribute as much as we can to this game, which has been great to all of us that participated in the best game in the world.
Cookie, have you been back to Kansas City since they renovated Kauffman Stadium?
Yes, I saw it there, and I've been in the All-Star game and had the opportunity to go back a couple of times just to see the ballpark. It's beautiful what they've done there. Really, really nice. And you know what? That ball club is not that far to being in a playoff in the next future years. They got a pretty good ball club.
Yeah, they do. They're 3 over. They are in third place behind this Cleveland team in the Central.
And what do you think tonight about this ball game? I mean, Kazmir pitching very well, and Eovaldi has been great. You know, pitching the last few times with no decision, and he's holding the opposition to 2 runs or less. He's doing a great job, but we need some runs.
Well, we talked about at the beginning of the game, no runs of support for Eovaldi his last 3 starts, and He doesn't have any today either.
That is right. You know, and we need a Stanton to get going again. It hasn't been swinging the bat very well. But, you know, it's a great thing to see our ball club right now, Tommy and Richard, really, to see the way that they have reacted after the All-Star break. You know, they're playing the game hard. They're playing right into every last inning of the games. And it's good to see these kids are starting to develop and really getting together as a team and fundamentally playing a lot better baseball.
Without a doubt. Guys, have a good show.
All right.
You too, guys, and have a great trip.
All right, thanks, guys.
Christian Yelich, Ed Lucas to follow, an out here in the bottom of the 6th. Scott Kazmir continues his really nice run with the Indians. That one is a fair ball, and down the line it goes. Brantley over to get it. Yelich around first. Good arm with Brantley in left, and he'll hold Yelich to a single. It's the Marlins' first hit since Ed Lucas's double back in the first. Just their second in the ballgame.
There's a little bit of that center field ability from Michael Brantley to get over and then get that throw back in to hold Yelich to a single, who I'm sure was thinking about two when he took a nice turn around first base.
Now Lucas. He hit a liner over Brantley's head and left that lodged underneath the fence for a double. Kazmir always has been pretty good on the mound, holding runners. Tommy talked about that unique move to second.
Well, the problem with that, Rich, the Marlins have only gotten one man to second base today.
Well, we talked about Eovaldi's line, Kazmir's line. 5 1/3, 2 hits now, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. No swing. And Lucas has got himself into a 3-0 count, and there is Stanton on deck.
Interesting pitch through that changeup, 2-0 to Ed Lucas, with Stanton looming on deck.
Fastball for a strike. 3-1.
And you would have to think that Lucas will see another fastball.
That one was right on the black. Again, at the same spot.
Boy, 2 fastballs right on the inside corner.
That one actually off the corner, but in the same vicinity.
Now, if he goes back in there, you have to swing.
Swing and a miss and a snap throw down to first.
Boy, went with a changeup. That's a heck of a pitch from Scott Kazmir. Fell behind 3-0, 2 fastballs, 1 borderline that were on the inner part of the plate, and then changes speeds with the changeup away.
For the Marlins on social media, several ways to connect with Marlin fans just like you. Go to marlins.com/connect. You get a full roster of Marlin players on Twitter, all the official Marlin accounts on Instagram.
Interesting decision they might be talking about out there.
There's Mickey Callaway, Tommy.
Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach. You don't want to ever put the tying run in scoring position, potential go-ahead run at first, but with Stanton up there and Yelich at first base, you have Logan Morrison, a lefty who Kazmir's handled. He's handled Stanton too, but you have the lefty on deck, so it'll be interesting to see how they pitch to Stanton here.
Well, he's handled Stanton in the 2 at-bats, a pop out, a ground out. Morrison is struck out, and he's bounced out. Fastball away. Change up in the dirt, and it doesn't look like they're real interested in throwing anything close to a strike.
Yeah, early on it looks like, well, we'll try a couple pitches if he doesn't bite. So fastball well up and away, and then a changeup that missed.
Three and 0. And so Morrison is no dummy. He realizes what's going on. Three-0 coming. Threw him a fastball and he got a strike. Big swing and a miss. Now, Kazmir has shown that really good changeup. He saw what he got Lucas on 3 and 2. There's Brian Shaw.
Boy, he went, remember, he fell behind Lucas 3 and 0. Went fastball, fastball, changeup. He's gone fastball, fastball. Went fastball again.
95 miles an hour. That's where he's topped out. And he's elevated those last 2 pitches, numbers 5 and 6. He looks, I mean, this is amazing to watch Scott Kazmir right now. His struggles with the Angels. I know he's always been a guy that has been on and off the disabled list. Last year pitching in independent ball. Stan fouls that one back. One of his teammates last year with the Skeeters, the Sugarland Skeeters, Roger Clemens, made a couple starts for the Skeeters.
Well, you added it up. What was it, 9 times in his career he's been on the disabled list?
He's challenged Stanton with fastballs. And he gets him on a changeup. And Stanton swings and misses. Scott Kazmir has dazzled for the Indians today.
field, breaking in. Conine can't get to it. Up with it, the runner's Wade. Here's the throw to the plate. Pudge is waiting. He tags him, gets knocked over, holds on, and the Marlins win the game. What a play to end it.
That one of the great moments in Marlins history. And that took the Marlins to Chicago. From there, they took New York, where they took the 2003 World Series championship. Today, a reunion of sorts. A lot of great names and faces and memories back in the ballpark. And a pitcher's duel here between Nathan Eovaldi and the resurgent Scott Kazmir.
I always wondered on that play, Rich, who hurt Pudge more, JT Snow or Ugueth Urbina, when he piled on after the out was recorded.
Jan Gomes, Mark Reynolds, Lonnie Chisenhall for the Indians.
Just another tremendous outing from Nathan Eovaldi. Talked about it, 12 ground ball outs. He's walked just one. He's recorded a couple of strikeouts.
Two balls and a strike. A run back in the second. It was Chisenhall's single. Gomes opened with a little infield hit. Moved to third on the double by Mark Reynolds. And it's 2-2. Tommy talked about the run that the Marlins are on in terms of starting pitchers allowing 3 or fewer runs going back to June 16th. The rotations ERA in that span is 2.83, and that's third in all of baseball. Just the Rays and the Pirates are better, and not by much. As well, Miami is on a record run, 11 consecutive games without allowing a home run.
Yeah, we've mentioned it. The last home run hit against the Marlins was hit by Todd Helton.
To left. It's deep. And it is foul. Just foul. Out there where a lot of people are lined up getting autographs from some of the World Series heroes. Full count, 3-2.
On the other hand, the Marlins on this homestand have homered just 3 times. Two by Stanton and the first Major League home run of Jake Marisnick.
Indians with 5 hits. Miami has just 2. And there's another one for Cleveland. Gomes, his second.
He's had some nice swings. It really stays back well and thinks the other way. Stayed back on that breaking ball.
Now Mark Reynolds. Reynolds doubled in the second, struck out in the 5th. 333 at bats for Reynolds, 123 strikeouts. But when he gets a hold of it, he gets a hold of it. Generates a lot of power. 4 years in Arizona, 2 years in Baltimore.
If you average out his last 6 years, he's averaged 31 home runs, 84 RBIs, and 187 strikeouts. And I think one of the reasons he's no longer in Arizona, they kind of wanted to get away from that. They wanted to get away from the all or nothing.
Reynolds into left field. And so the Indians have opened the 7th with consecutive hits that might start the Marlins bullpen in motion.
Yeah, you think about it. One was a pretty good slider that Gomes stayed back on, just punched into right field. And that one, he got in on Reynolds. He didn't hit it all that sharply, but got it between third and short.
You know, the Indians bullpen is getting up as well. There's Ramos for the Marlins. The Indians pen's getting up because Scott Kazmir is on deck. And if Terry Francona's in a spot to add a run or two, I mean, he may. And Chuck Hernandez is on his way out to the mound. Then Francona may take that shot.
Right now, Kazmir at 102 pitches, so I would imagine he will take that shot. And now Chuck Hernandez out there just to get a little time for the bullpen to get ready. Shaw was throwing a little bit last inning, so he probably is ready already. Maybe throw a few more pitches if he comes in the bottom of the 7th.
You got Lonnie Chisenhall, the number 8 hitter, RBI single and a ground ball out. Chisenhall, Marlin infield not expecting bunt, but here it comes.
It's one of those that you can't go all out if you're an infielder because you're not sure. And even after he showed bunt on the first pitch, you're still not sure.
Lucas a few steps on the grass at third. Morrison's behind the runner at first. So I don't know that Miami's really buying it, but Chisenhall bunts it, third base side. And they get the out at first. And that's going to be the end of Kazmir. So the good news for the Indians is that they've got runners at second and third. The good news for the Marlins is that Kazmir's coming out of the game. And Jason Giambi is going to come to the plate.
Well, a nice job, perfectly executed by Chisenhall, the sacrifice bunt. So Francona goes to that bench that we've talked about. It's a very good one, very experienced.
Giambi had a brief appearance in this series. Bounced out as a pinch hitter. Big walk-off home run in that 8-game win streak where they went 7-0 on the homestand against Texas and the White Sox. And here it was.
And with that, became the oldest player in Major League history to ever hit a walk-off home run.
Infield's in.
Boy, he's not catching up to that. Look at that, 100 miles an hour still from Nathan Eovaldi. Giambi was a part of that 03 World Series with the Yankees that year.
Yes, he was. Reynolds and Gomes out there.
Got to go up there again.
Oh-2. Fastball popped him up. Third base side, foul and playable. Lucas makes the catch. Big, big out.
You know, at 42, that was about the best he was going to get to that fastball up in that area. Good pitching, good location by Eovaldi. No disrespect to Jason Giambi, who's had a fantastic career.
Now Michael Bourne, who has bounced out 3 times And you got to be aware of a bunt here. Even with runners at second and third, Bourne with great speed. If he could lay one down and beat it out, he could produce a run. Lucas even at the bag at third. Bourne takes out. So the Indians extracting Kazmir from the game, giving Giambi a shot. Now hoping Bourne can come through. 99 miles an hour.
Well, the impressive thing about Eovaldi is that here we are in the 7th inning. He's thrown over 100 pitches, and he's still upper 90s or 100.
One and two. Eovaldi got Giambi. He's a strike away from getting Bourne. Stays at 1 and 2. Liner to right, that's well hit. Stanton goes back. He's there and he makes the catch. Bourne barreled it up. Eovaldi through 7 has given up just a run. Lowell was at third base, picking it, making all the plays. And of course was a big part of that magical ride all the way to a world championship. 10th anniversary celebration at Marlins Park and here on Fox Sports Florida. And he joins us now. Mike Lowell. You look great. You sound great on MLB Network.
Thank you. I like those highlights. It made me feel good. I feel like I got a hit every time I was up.
You get a little chills. That's a base hit, some good plays.
Yeah.
This must have been a special moment. You guys lined up down on the first base line. Jack McKeon, who was in a hospital for much of the summer, was there to greet you. And a lot of your teammates came back. Even Louis Castillo was here.
We found him. It was tough to track him down, but it was great. I'm happy for Jack. He looks great. He's a guy who just really loves baseball. His life has been baseball, and that's a pretty cool journey to say you've put in so much time and done things well. But guys like Andy Fox and Brian Banks and guys that you just talk to on the phone every once in a while, to see him in person is much different. I thought we were a special group, and I don't think we realized at that time how well-rounded a team it was. We had good pitching, good defense, good hitting. We could hit for some power. So, I think it just all came together kind of that year. And you look at guys like Miguel Cabrera, who was a 20-year-old at the time, and 10 years later, he's not even arguably, he's the best player in the game right now. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Well, you had a good mix of veterans and youth. Guys like you who had come up through the system and gone through some lean years and some learning years. And obviously, Cabrera showed up as a 20-year-old. Dontrell Willis came aboard. A lot of energy.
Yeah, those two guys, I think Dontrell was just contagious, and just the way he was so quirky and different, and he started 9-0, and you really saw a nice jump in attendance the days he pitched, which was kind of weird. We hadn't experienced that, but it was cool. It was a really good group of guys, and I think the proudest thing that I was a part of was myself, Alex Gonzalez, Louis Castillo, and Derek Lee was the same infield that lost 100 games in '99, and then we lost 90-something in 2000. And we took our lumps, but we really came together as an infield. And I thought, to become world champs after struggling so much is kind of cool when you were the same group.
How nice was it as an infielder, as a third baseman, to have a guy like D. Lee over there first?
Oh, I mean, it's like, trying to hit the side of a building. If you miss that, you stink. He was phenomenal, and he's so tall and so lanky, but so agile. And he made all the plays. And usually the smooth first basemen are usually lefty, and Derek was just unbelievable. He really was.
Morrison knocks it foul now, celebrating the 2003 World Championship. After that was done, you could have walked over to the Indians dugout and had a reunion with Terry Francona.
I did. I actually went by his office this morning, and the Indians, not only did I play for Tito for those 5 years, I think, as you can see what they're doing, he provides a great atmosphere for the players, and I think Red does a lot of that with the group he has. It's a pretty neat dynamic where you got a lot of young guys and a young manager, and that's kind of how you come together totally. And you see the starters that the Marlins throw out there, and other teams aren't excited to face 95 plus 4 out of 5 days. It's tough.
Differences in the different world championships with Boston and with the Marlins.
I would say the Marlins was very special, selfishly, because I grew up in Miami, and you did it in your hometown. But that run, we played against the Giants in the first round, and they went to the World Series the year before. No one thought we'd get by the Giants. Then I think basically almost everyone get through ball, attaboy. Then when we played the Cubs, I think the whole country, besides maybe South Florida, wanted to see the Cubs in the World Series because it had been so many years. So we kind of were up against the wall against everyone. Then you get to the Yankees, there's no way you're beating the Yankees. So we kept proving people wrong, and I think we took pride in that, and that motivated us. In Boston, it's a totally different dynamic. We had a pretty good team in there. If you don't win the World Series, you're a failure. So to surpass even the highest expectations is pretty neat in itself. And so very different paths, but I think equal satisfaction, you can definitely say.
Donovan Solano up. Logan Morrison is singled to right. Scott Kazmir out of the game. Remember, the Indians pulled him for a pinch hitter. And anybody other than Kazmir for the Marlins is a welcome sight, because Kazmir, 6 innings, gave up just 2 hits and did not give up a run. It's Brian Shaw facing Donovan Solano.
Shaw had a good inning the other night, came in, struck out the side.
Mike Lowell is with us here.
Mike, you mentioned the energy, all the things that Dontrell Willis brought to the ball club that year. I know you've had a chance to living here, you've had a chance to see Jose Fernandez. Do you see any similarities?
Oh, I think Fernandez stuff is better than Dontrell. Dontrell, I don't want to take anything away from him, but his quirkiness and his weird windup helped him with his deception. Fernandez, I remember telling Red in spring training, I saw him throw a bullpen. I just like the way he goes about his business. And he has a little bit of that aura where he knows he's good, which is good. You know, that's a good confidence. And he's not afraid to compete. And you add that with really good stuff. That's a pretty lethal combination. What he's done his last 10 starts is absolutely amazing. And, I'd like to see, those days where, we're packing the house here to see this kid, which is special.
Now, you have started down the road of broadcasting. We see you on MLB Network, all decked out in a nice suit and tie.
You have your own special locker up there and everything?
No, I actually have like a little room that I share with Kevin Millar and Chris Rose. So we kind of fight for hangar space, but they come in like once every 3 weeks. I think they do their show out of their house, so they got it pretty good. But I do enjoy it. The studio stuff is pretty cool, and I think it gives me a great reason to stay watching a lot of games and seeing a lot of different teams. And as the years go by, you get a new crop of players, and it's exciting for me to follow them and watch them. And even this kid, Echeverria. How great is he to see play shortstop?
What's the perception up there or nationally, since you have a foot in the national camp, about Echeverria?
I think at first it was really good glove, no bat. But I think we have to understand that he's kind of learning at the big league level, which is hard. He hasn't been in the minor leagues too long, and I think he just started off offensively really slow, but he caught fire for about 6 weeks, and you see the development. This is, that's the patience that you need with young guys. And what I'm most impressed with, even when he wasn't hitting, he never took it onto the field. His play at shortstop has really been amazing, and that's huge. That's the key cornerstone to your defense is that shortstop. And there you go. And then the bat's coming along, and that's part of how we develop. And you see it down the road, and consistency comes after you prove it over and over that you can do it. That's a great piece of hitting right there. Kind of like you, Tommy.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jack made the ultimate compliment when he was up here. Jack talked about Alex Gonzalez, and he said, I thought I had seen the best shortstop defensively until I watched this kid.
And I said I was spoiled. I played with Alex for 8 years, 7 with the Marlins and 1 year in Boston. I never saw anyone just be able to maneuver his body as good. And what I will say about Echeverria, at his age, he makes the consistent play better than what Alex is. He's very acrobatic, and he made these plays that wow you, and Echeverria does as well. But I love the fact that the ball that is hit right at him, he makes the play and the guy's out, and that's huge.
Jake Marisnick now with runners first and second. The Indians. There's a look at Echeverria's quick release from the hole. The Indians 3 behind the Tigers at start of play. If it ended today, the Indians would be the second wild card team in the American League. Marisnick swings and misses at a breaking ball.
You guys like the second wild card?
I think it makes it interesting for fans. That would be my answer. I don't know if I'm crazy about it, but I think fans love it because it keeps their team, if they're on the fence, it keeps them in it.
I like it because it puts more value on winning the division. Because now
the one-game playoff is tough.
Absolutely. It used to be if you were the lone wild card team, you were treated just like a division winner. Now, if you are the first wild card team, you get a home game, but that's it. And, as the Braves learned, that doesn't always get you where you want to go.
It keeps a lot of teams in it because there's another spot, which I think is great.
Marisnick,
but a lot of sorry, Tommy. Go ahead.
Marisnick goes down.
I just think there's some wild card teams that have better records than the division winner, and that hurts to play. Play 162 to then go to a one-game playoff. I don't know. I would love to see at least a 2 out of 3. Maybe have them go play 2 out of 3 with no days off, and then you got to play the team with the best record.
It put them at a little disadvantage if they advance.
So they would have to throw at least their 3 against your 1. But then you get all those days off, you know, and I know MLB doesn't want the days off for the higher seeded team, so it's tough. It's tough.
Mathis gets the at bat.
They always just blame TV. It's all about TV.
Well, they do say that, don't they say the best ratings is the sudden death? That's why March Madness is so good.
Yeah.
The football, because it's one and done, and you know that's the best ratings because you win or you go home.
Quickly, it's 0-2. Brian Shaw trying to pitch out of this first and second spot in the bottom of the seventh in a 1-0 game. Greg Dobbs on deck if needed, but Shaw is 0-2 on Mathis.
How great was Evaldi coming up with 99 and 100 when he needed it last inning?
Wow. Shaw strikes him out. And a nice escape by the right-hander for the Indians. All right, Mike Lowe, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Mikey. Good to see you always.
You got it, Tommy. Thank you.
You look good in a coat and tie, too, by the way.
Just trying to trick him.
1-0 Indians. Brings you the game summary.
Not a whole lot of offensive action, but a double in the second inning by Mark Reynolds. Got him in scoring position for Lonnie Chisenhall. He singles him home, and guess what? That's been all the scoring in the game. Scott Kazmir impressive in his outing this afternoon. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, just a couple of hits, did not allow a run. Nate Evaldi almost as impressive in his 7 innings of work, gave up just the 1 run. The bullpens are in charge now in a terrific inning. A good job by Brian Shaw to get out of that jam he was in, striking out 3.
So Qualls in for Evaldi. Both starters pitched well. Kazmir 6 innings, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts. Evaldi 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 run. Mike Aviles. And Qualls starts with a fastball that is up and in. Of course, Qualls on this homestand producing one of the more lighter moments of the season for the Marlins after a big strikeout, a fist pump and roll, which showed up just about everywhere as he knew it would, but he took it with good humor.
Hey, Rich, by the way, very easy to see why Mike Lowell's had some success with MLB Network.
Very much so. They need to get him his own dressing room, though.
Yeah, sharing it with Millar and Rose. Gee, especially Millar with the way he dresses.
I would imagine in Millar's locker there's like 3 shirts on a hanger, and they're all Tommy Bahama. Aviles drives one left field, hits it well. Yelich won't get it. Off the wall. Mike Aviles races into second base. And the Indians shortstop has himself a hit, a 1-for-4 day.
He's hit a couple of balls well. He hit the one shot that was tracked down nicely by Jake Marisnick.
Now Kipnis. Kipnis has singled, struck out, and walked. The Tigers and the White Sox are tied 2-2 in the 9th. Paul Konerko just coming across with a home run. Falls, gets the out. Indians push Aviles to third.
They see how Francona values this extra run, having his number 3 hitter, the guy with 68 RBIs, dropped down a sacrifice bunt, and he did it very well.
And the Marlins will bring their infield in. This has been a ball game where the Marlins have brought the infield in. It feels like 4 or 5 times already.
They had the infield in the 2nd inning.
Rayburn now swings and misses. Qualls, who had a pratfall as well as a member of the Phillies off the mound on a pickoff throw. Kind of has that unique finish where he spins just after he delivers the pitch. Rayburn, the Plant City native, University of South Florida. Had a hit in the first and a hit in the second game. And both times off the end of the bat. Rayburn, the double last night was in a starting role, and he came off the bench early in Friday's game in a double switch, went 1 for 2. Russell Martin just hit a 3-run home run, and the Pirates are flying. They're beating the Rockies 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, they're moving. They had another terrific outing from Francisco Liriano last night. Today it's A.J. Burnett pitching well.
2-2 to Rayburn, infield in. Yes, a fastball. He couldn't check it. Rayburn goes down, and there are 2 outs. Qualls still has to get Michael Brantley.
Boy, runs that 2-seamer in under his hands, and Rayburn starts after and then just can't hold it back. After some sliders away, that's a nasty pitch.
That breaking ball ended up down near the shoe tops of Brantley. It's 0-1.
Been a rough series for Michael Brantley in front of some friends and family.
Oh for 10. He didn't budge on that breaking ball. Marlins saw the Indians A team as far as bullpen last night. Joe Smith, sidewinder, and then Chris Perez, the former Hurricane closer. They pitched the 8th and the 9th inning. Marlins actually got a run off Perez and had 2 runners on in scoring position with 1 out. And were unable to get that tying run or the winning run close from there. Qualls trying to pitch around. The leadoff double to Aviles.
Well, you talk about a huge series. When the Indians finish this series here in Miami, they head back home and start a 4-game series against Detroit.
Aviles 90 feet away. Qualls is 2-2. Breaking ball pulled foul. The Mets right now are getting clobbered by Kansas City 6-1 in the 7th. Gomes is on deck, and he's had a nice day. The majority of the Indians' hits have come from this part of the order. Up the middle into center field, and Brantley has his first hit of the series, and he makes it hurt.
Well, Qualls tried to work sliders in, which he kept pulling foul. He tried to go away with 2 seamers. That time he got a little bit too much of the plate, and a guy who's a pretty good hitter was due and had a good swing with that base hit up the middle. Talking about the Indians going back home to play Detroit, they've lost 9 out of 12 to the Tigers this year.
Now Yan Gomes, who's 2 for 3. Brantley leaning at first, not running. Up the middle into center field. 3 hits for Gomes. And so a tough outing for Qualls. He's given up 3 hits and a run here in the 8th. Miami's bullpen is quiet. Mark Reynolds now. So Brantley, Port St. Lucie has fans here. Gomes, Miami, from Brazil. He's got fans here. Reynolds 2 hits, 2 for 3. And we've talked throughout the series about Cleveland's depth and their bench, and it has shown in this ball game. Swing and a miss. You've got Gomes, who is 3 for 4. Reynolds, who is 2 for 3. Aviles, who's getting the start at short. Started the 8th inning with a double. Is it safe to say, Tommy, that Dan Jennings getting loose? The Indians don't wow you with a Miguel Cabrera or an Evan Longoria or someone like that. They just have a real good, solid team, very solid bench.
Yeah, they don't have like a Chris Davis 40 home runs, but some solid players. And I think just a little bit of that was demonstrated how they play as a unit with Kipnis in this inning, the third hitter, dropping down a nice sacrifice bunt.
One and two. Lucas, diving stop on his feet, throws to first in time. Just got him. Nice play by Ed Lucas, but the Indians add an insurance run. And we head to the bottom of the eighth, 2-0 Cleveland. The Marlins beat the Yankees in 6, just the 7th time the Yankees lost a deciding World Series game at Yankee Stadium. Drew Stubbs comes in a double switch. Stubbs goes into the 9th spot in the order, due up second in the 9th. Marlins saw Joe Smith last night. He looked good, and here he is again. Back for a return engagement. Juan Pierre leads it off. And a big difference here, the Marlins down 2-0 instead of 1-0.
Yeah, that one run, very big. Nice job by Brian Shaw. Gave up a couple of hits in the 7th inning, but struck out Solano, struck out Marisnik, and struck out Mathis.
So this combined shutout has 6 innings of Scott Kazmir on it. Kazmir walked 2, struck out 7. Pierre behind the count, 0-2. Pierre part of the celebration before the ball game for his role in center field, and the leadoff man, he and Louis at the top of the order, oftentimes interchangeable. Breaking ball is a strike, and for Pierre, that was a quick at bat.
Marlins, Rich, lead the league, having been shut out 15 times this year. So in jeopardy, being shut out for the 16th time. And the amazing thing, after that barrage of hits and runs in the opening game of this series on Friday night.
Yelich fouls it back. One ball, one strike. Ramos getting ready for the ninth.
Smith kind of starts that breaking ball to lefties off the plate. Kind of give up on it and then crosses, gets in the strike zone.
Smith shares this with Scott Kazmir. He, like Kazmir, was a Mets draft pick, 2006. Grew up in Cincinnati. He enrolled at Wright State as a freshman and was cut for the team. Came back the next year with a sidearm delivery, and the rest is history. That ball's hit and hit well, left center field, and deep but caught at the track. Michael Brantley. Our Cholula Hot Sauce Spotlight player. We've seen this guy so many times. We figured Mickey Callaway deserved a look. Ole Miss, Rays pick. 14 pro seasons. He was on a world championship team, I believe. The 2002 Angels.
He can tell you a little bit about Korea and Taiwan and China.
Yep, 2002 with the Angels. Part of their bullpen. So there you go. The guy that we've seen an awful lot of. He's done a nice job. The Indians' rotation's very good. Their bullpen's solid. Stanton is on deck. Marlins would love to get him to the plate. Though it's been a rough patch for Giancarlo. Smith realizing that he'd rather face Lucas than Stanton. Has poured across two fastballs to make it 3-2.
Well, Lucas knows the importance of trying to get Stanton up there too, taking those last two pitches. And earning himself a walk, and he buys an at bat for Giancarlo Stanton here in the 8th inning. Tell me, what do you see with Stanton right now? Because it seems like he's slid back in these last 4 or 5 games where he was about a month ago. A little bit what we saw earlier, because you haven't seen him drive a ball into right center. And when he gets that mode where just a little bit, he flies out the shoulder, the front side. When he stays back and drives a couple of balls that way, you'll start to feel better. He'll start to feel better.
1 for his last 19.
And if you ever wanted to stay back and think that, it's against a guy who throws like Smith.
Almost got him. 2-1. 2-2. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. And Stanton in a 1-for-20 slide now. To the ninth, 2-0 Cleveland. It's the ninth. And the Marlins down a couple. Marlins Park, great place for happy hour at the Clevelander. All Monday through Friday home games, just $20 per person. Get a ticket inside the Clevelander. Free domestic beer and additional drink specials. Packages are restricted to guests 21 and older. Go to marlins.com/groups today. Busy day out at the Clevelander. Marlins and Indians finishing off the three-game series, and the Marlins are a couple runs shy. Cleveland, if they can get this win, would get to 62-49, and it would be their 10th win in their last 11 ball games.
Talked about at the beginning of the series, it would also be their 25th win on the road. They're just 24-30 on the road.
Lonnie Chisenhall goes after A.J. Ramos' first pitch.
They've had a great run at home this year, 37-19, the Indians.
Ramos takes over for Chad Qualls. Nathan Eovaldi, 7 innings, gave up a run. Chad Qualls, an inning, he gave up a run. Will Myers is homered again, and the Rays have a 4-3 lead over the Giants in the bottom of the 6th.
Myers with a walk-off base hit last night for the Rays.
St. Louis is having another one of those ball games where they're absolutely pounding Cincinnati. 12-2 in Cincinnati. Cardinals on top.
I'll tell you a guy who's gotten a lot of hits, some big hit, Tony Cruz, who's getting a lot of catching time with Molina on the DL.
Cruz has homered, among others. Matt Adams, David Freese also homering for the Cardinals. That one's hit deep. It's hooking, and it's foul. Washington is holding a 4-1 lead in Milwaukee. It's almost now or never, isn't it, for the Nationals? As you hit August.
As they had last year, they need to get some of that natitude back. Slogans always seem to come back and bite you.
Dodgers 1-0 over the Cubs in the 6th. You look up now, all of a sudden Los Angeles' lead in the West is 4.5 games.
The Dodgers trying to win their 14th straight road game.
Boy, no swing. And it's 2-2. Slow roller. Solano gets the out. Chisenhall is out number 1. Drew Stubbs, the scheduled hitter, but it looks like Nick Swisher is going to come to the plate. AT&T U-verse Twitter poll, favorite Marlin World Series MVP, Levon outdistancing Beckett. When Terry Francona made the switch, it apparently was straight up.
Yeah, he's pinch hitting for Smith. Stubbs still in the game.
And Stubbs is in the 4 spot in the order. So Swisher gets in at bat. 0 for 4 last night. And a 1 for 4 night on Friday. Oh, 2 breaking ball. Rolls over on it. Morrison waits and gets the out. So Ramos so far has had a clean 9th. Michael Bourne coming up. Marlins Live presented by Checkers coming up.
Getting things ready on the set. Niner making an appearance. It's had a busy day, Jeff Conine today. Seeing some old friends from the 03 team.
Marlins could use a little offense from that 0-3 team today. This one will be a little trickier for Morrison. He flips.
He's got to take it himself. There's no chance he's going to flip and get it to Ramos. You got to, as you feel that ball be moving toward the bag with Bourne the runner. And see a little hesitation from Ramos because he thought the same thing right about here. And then he's a little late in getting there because he hesitates.
And Bourne obviously a threat to run. He swiped 3 bags last night.
this is a situation, too, if he's going, which I think he will be, he's not going to waste any time.
High fastball, 1-0. Aviles doubled in the 8th, and then it came home on Michael Brantley's RBI hit. One and one.
Came out of his shoes on that swing.
Yes, he did. Bourne not running. Ramos gets a strike, 1 and 2.
I think for guys that have never faced A.J. Ramos before, they're surprised at a couple of things of his assortment of pitches, his velocity, because we see A.J. a lot of times 95, 96 miles an hour, and then that changeup.
Ramos, another throw over. Two and 2 to Mike Aviles. Tigers and White Sox are in the bottom of the 10th, tied 2-2. Bourne is running, swing and a miss, and Ramos gets the strikeout. The Marlins head to the bottom of the 9th, down a couple. And Mike Redmond's ball club finds himself again down a couple in the 9th. Our Toyota trend, final game in a stretch of 17 games in 17 days. Marlins so far in the 16 previous have gone 8-8. And Chris Perez is back. Perez, a tightrope act last night. He delivered the win. Just barely. Miami had runners at second and third. Rob Brantley at the plate. Brantley with a drawn-in infield. Bounced one to first. And then Placido Polanco hit a liner to center. Hit it well into left center, but Michael Bourne got there and made the catch. And the game belonged to the Indians. Logan Morrison, Donovan Solano, Adeiny Echeverria in the ninth. Strike one.
Well, the one thing we know in the history and talking to a lot of Indians fans and people is that Chris Perez will make it interesting. And that's why that extra run was a huge one for Cleveland.
John Tuitu working hard. Third base camera. 1-1 pitch. A strike adorned yesterday in a UC Davis baseball shirt.
I saw that. I was impressed.
Counts 1-2. Morrison 6 hits in the first 2 games. Smacks it into center. Bourne comes on and he makes the catch. Out number 1 for Perez in the ninth. The Indians, of course, and Cleveland celebrate the fact that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland. Whenever their pictures are on Marlins Vision, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is behind them. Soft to center. Bourne dives and he got it. Boy, Michael Bourne has been a difference maker with the bat, with his speed, and with his glove.
Boy, did he cover a lot of ground. As soon as he made the dive, watch the ground and territory he covers right there to make that play, and then he just kind of folds the glove under and cups it to make sure it doesn't come out. Biggest fan right there, Chris Perez.
Echeverria now is lined out twice and singled. $25,077 the attendance. Perez has gone 2-0. After Echeverria, you've got Marisnick. Marlins still have Greg Dobbs available. They used Juan Pierre as a pinch hitter. And now Perez is just a strike away.
Yeah, I think I said 16 a while back. This will be the 13th time if the Marlins get shut out. It'll be the 13th time this year.
Perez ready, the 2-2. Backhanded, Chisenhall loads up, throws him out, and the Indians take 2 of 3 from Miami. And Cleveland just keeps on rolling right now. The Indians have won 10 of 11 and set up that big series against the Tigers. Terrific work by Michael Bourne. Chris Perez gets his second save of the series. Cleveland beats Miami 2-0.